Blizzard over the last, I would say, decade has definitely gone downhill in terms of just the quality as well as retaining the spirit of whatever each individual video game used to have when it first came out into its years of development. A lot of people, I'm going to specifically talk about World of Warcraft because this video game that I'm about to show you is going to be a spiritual successor to the Warcraft universe, rather, because a lot of ex-developers of Blizzard have gone off and made their own things, and some of them get together and make new studios, and it's like, oh, ex-Blizzard, so therefore it might be the old guard coming in who made the original World of Warcraft making a new game, right? Well, you have the War Chief Gaming that Chris Metzen made. Oh, wow, what are they going to make? Tabletop game. Okay, if you're into tabletop games, cool, but... Oh, okay. So you got Ouroboros there. Well, now, there's another group that's making their own new game from ex-Blizzard developers. Oh my god, what are they going to make? Palia. So... you can definitely tell with the influence of Palia that these ex-Blizzard developers are from the more modern era of Warcraft. They're from, like, Legion and BFA. They're not from Vanilla. They're not from Warcraft 3. But these guys are. So, what I'm about to show you, it was just announced a month ago, and mind you, this is still early, like, pre-alpha gameplay, but it is still gameplay nonetheless. This is not a cinematic CGI trailer, and for what it is in a pre-alpha state, it looks freaking amazing. So, this game is called Legacy, Steel and Sorcery by a studio called Notorious. And these are, in fact, Warcraft 3 ex-developers. Not Legion, not BFA, not Dragonflight. And just look at this right here. So, I just saw this, like, not too long ago, and I just want to show you guys. So look at this. It's Unreal Engine 5. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit so you can hear me. It's Unreal Engine 5. This dude, I mean, it's a human, but he's built like an orc, right? That's like traditional orc. Unreal Engine 5, and now even though it is that, it is stylized, but look at the ground. Look at the clutter. Look at the moss, the foliage, the little bit of rubble. Look at these freaking goblin dudes with the hook nose. Goblin tooth, goblin ear, so he got loot from there. Look at that, it's action combat, so not tab target. There's looting. He just put on the helmet he looted. I doubt we're going to get that in the real game, because look how badass that helmet is. I doubt a freaking goblin camp is going to have that. Look at that. Obviously, hold on, I'm going to pause it there. Oh, wait. Sorry, go back a little bit. Look at it. Obviously inspired by Night Elven architecture, right? It's in ruins, so it's obviously not the height of when this building was operational. The door is clattered down, there's rubble everywhere, it looks burnt, like somebody raided it. But obviously Night Elf inspired, right? And this human, even though he is a human, obviously orc inspired. And then you see the arrow, and there it is, an elf. It obviously supposed to be a night elf, right? It's gonna be like whatever version of elf that this game is going to have. They cannot one-for-one take Warcraft for, you know, legal reasons, but the influence is obviously there. And we are going to get some, like, traditional, like, PvP in Ashenvale. Look at this. So that's another player right there. That's another player. And the human is a second player. Look at, there's some damage meters showing you that they are PvPing. Environmental damage. And not only that, there's environment. Look at this. He's picking up a rock. Environmental, interaction. He throws the rock and fucking destroys her. And then he does, like, a finishing move on her. Now he's going into there. That's probably, like, the Horde. I was gonna say, no, never mind. I was gonna say, like, it's, like, the Horde's version of, of Warsong Gulch, while the other one was like the Alliance version. But no, I changed my mind. It's in fact a in-world dungeon. Whether it's instanced or not, we don't know. But let's just say for now, it's an in-world non-instance dungeon. Now there's another elf player. I don't know if it's the same elf player, but it's an elf player with the human player, and they're going in to fight this PvE dungeon. So you're gonna have PvP, you're gonna have PvE, and you see some skeletons or something there that they're gonna go in and fight. Yeah, skeletons. That, I don't know if that's more PvP or PvP or PvE. That's obviously PvE there. There's your group of players, some like big troll dude, and then that's the logo. So yeah, that looks freaking amazing, man. Like, look at this dude. Obviously, like orcish inspired, like barbarian, right? Now, because I've only seen big buff human dudes as warriors, I mean, I'm not complaining. Definitely not complaining, because that's what I'd be playing right there. But that's all I've seen. There's a second human player at some point. I don't think it's that guy. It's this dude over here. So it's another big buff dude who's also a warrior-esque type of player. And the elf, that one looks more like a mage. They have a staff on their back. And then this other elf here has a bow, so obviously like a ranger. I don't know if they're going to be like typecasted, where only like this is like the barbarian archetype that you can only play this type of character, and the elf can only be an archer, and I guess I don't know if that's a elf or a human, but they can only be a spellcaster. So I don't know if the types of characters are going to be typecasted, so limited to what they can be. But I mean, like, I'm okay for limitations when it like makes sense physically and with the lore, but you can have an elven warrior, but maybe they have more agility, right? While the big buff dude might not have as much agility, but would have more strength involved. So that's a possibility. We don't know how far this is going to go yet in terms of the RPG mechanics of it, but we do know it is an RPG because here's the Steam page right here. So you can wishlist it right now. Again, it's very early access, so there's no release date at all yet. But if we go here to the tags, action, it's gonna be action, so it's an action combat game. You got PvP, open world, fantasy, class base, so there's gonna be classes, warrior, ranger, mage, we figured that much. Third person, I don't see a first person, so I don't think that's gonna be a thing. There's action, RPG, survival, so probably some survival mechanics. I doubt it's gonna be like eating and drinking. For the, I mean, I would like that because I love that kind of stuff, but I'm guessing the survival aspect is just going to be, there's dudes out in the world that are going to kill you. That's going to be the extent, right? There might be some RPG involved where you will have to, well, not will, but you can eat or drink, but it's more flavorful, or if anything, you'll get food buffs. So there's that. Souls-like, that's going mostly down to the action combat, which we'll get to in a second, because they do talk a little bit on that. RPG, dark fantasy, choices matter. That's going to be interesting. Character customization, so you will be able to build your own character, but again, I don't know if it's typecast or not, considering we've only seen big bulking barbarian humans with the slender elves as the rangers and spellcasters. So that's remained to be seen. I'm not going to go too much more on that. So, about this game, Legacy Steel and Sorcery is a third-person action RP, or PvP, oh my god, I can't say this, hold on, PvPvE RPG featuring distinctive fantasy classes. Go on adventures solo or with friends to search for treasure, level up, defeat any who stand in your way. Destroy your enemies. Combat has been designed from the ground up for PvP. Feel the impact of your attacks and use your abilities to carve out the flow of battle. Quick decisions and precision are necessary to win. So definitely this is being built with PvP in mind. It's not going to be a side thing, unfortunately, how it was in World of Warcraft, because PvP is completely forgotten about. Take what you kill. In the wild, the spoils go to the victor. The world is more real when everyone's hard-earned loot is on the line. So that's pretty much confirming open looting in terms of PvP. So if you die, people can loot your stuff. That's pretty much confirmed from what they say there. Now, it's remained to be seen if there's going to be a PvP area, PvE area, or if there's going to be a PvP server, a PvE server, but we don't know, like, what's the limit on that, because, we really don't know, but they will be having open looting, like, free-for-all looting in PvP. So, prepare for battle. Respite awaits behind the stone walls of the city. Fortify your elixirs and armaments at shops. Rest in your private room at the inn. Organize your stash. Cook a meal for the next adventure. So that pretty much confirms you have meals you have to eat, whether it's required in terms of like the survival aspect or not, we don't know, or it could be just food buffs, which is a typical RPG mechanic. Organize your stash, which is basically you can loot and put it into storage. That's give and take. Rest at your private room at the inn, but later here they say that there is actual player housing, so we'll get to that in a second. Fortify your elixirs and armaments, so you can obviously buy potions, buy armor, weapons, but I don't know if you would be able to craft it. Most likely, because it is an RPG, it just says at shops, so that says you could buy it, but most likely we will be able to craft it, but it's not confirmed. Now, it says, go on solo adventures or bolster your strength with up to 2 other friends. So, solo will be confirmed. Group play is confirmed. Actively dodge, block, sprint, attack, and cast when you engage in combat. That's just the action combat, Souls-like combat that they're going to be having up. Level up each character to unlock new abilities and traits. Now, it says each character, so I don't know if it's like I'm going to say World of Warcraft again, because you can have multiple characters, you could stay as one or make many, but you do have to level them up in order to progress the character, obviously. Or, if it's going to be, I doubt it, but it might be, like, think of Overwatch, where you have your heroes, and each time you play a specific hero, you could level up in, like, that character to be more powerful. So there's a difference, right? It sounds the same, but there is a difference. I'm guessing it just means the more World of Warcraft style, so you can have multiple characters under your account, not just one, which would make sense to me. So the world is part of combat, which we saw in the trailer with him with the environmental damage. Warriors can charge through walls, hurl boulders, while priests can levitate over danger and away from enemies. Levitating priests, definitely World of Warcraft there. Each class has unique ways in which they interact with the environment, which sounds really cool, and I actually like that. So I hate in World of Warcraft where they pretty much homogenized all the classes. Everyone's got a heal, everyone's got a speed buff, everyone's got a oh shit button, everyone's got a this, everyone's got a that. So I liked it when classes were like, I don't mind if one class that's not a healer class has a healing ability. I just don't want all of the DPS or tanks to have healing abilities, right? It makes sense where it is. Like the rogue potion ability where they take a potion, that makes sense for the fantasy of a rogue, but it doesn't make sense for a warrior. You have an actual potion bottle if you want to do that, because you're buying it from somebody else who made it, or if you're into that craft, whatever, but it's not an ability, right? So, and I don't expect other people to have tracking, like a hunter's tracking, right? Or flair. That's a hunter flavor ability and utilization. I like this idea that each class has utility that others cannot. So, like, an area that maybe you need to be nimble to get in, so maybe the Elf Ranger could sneak in and get into a hidden area, but the Warrior cannot. But if he goes around the other way, maybe he can push through the boulders or whatever and get through that way, but he starts at a different area than the Ranger would. So I definitely like this idea that there could be multiple ways of doing things, or only one class could do something that another one cannot, so they have to rely on their person to do their job in order to continue the dungeon or something. So definitely there's lots of possibilities that could be done there. So, it says here, improve your reputation with vendors to craft the most impressive gear and to get them to sell you the best stuff. Again, another World of Warcraft mechanic. You have reputations, you have shops. In World of Warcraft, if you gain reputation, you can actually get discounts on items, as well as unlocking new things to buy. So definitely the influence is there. Now here it is. Upgrade your permanent lodging with higher quality furnishings. Better amenities mean more benefits for your adventures. So, player housing customization, and it is permanent. So, You can have an inn, or you can have your actual house. How they're going to deal with it, that's going to be a wait and see. If it's going to be instanced or in the world, like Conan Exiles or something, we don't know that yet. Embark on quests for unique rewards and much needed supplies. I mean, that's a typical RPG thing. Experience a community-wide fresh start when major updates reset progression, deliver new content, and gameplay changes. So, I don't know how I feel about that. Being an open-world RPG where you gather a bunch of stuff, right? I don't like wipes. If it was like a turn-based, not a turn-based, but like a match-made thing, like Phasmophobia or Overwatch or something, a wipe for major updates, whatever, because what are you wiping? We're literally just playing the same matches over and over again. But an open world RPG, you gather 20,000 gold, you've got your bank full of epic loot, all this kind of stuff. A patch comes out and it's all gone, you have to re-level a character? That doesn't sound right to me. I really don't like that idea. Now, I will say it might be for like open servers. Think about it like Conan Exiles or Ark Survival Evolved, where there are official public servers where those can be wiped after, like, you know, a launch or something, or if something happens, whatever, it can get reset. Or you could host your own server where you could choose to reset it, or you could just keep it. It's your server. We don't know quite what that will mean, but I really don't like if everybody's gonna get reset every single like content update. So again, this is gonna be a wait and see to see, like, maybe it's just the wording. Maybe they meant like at launch, because that would make sense. Like, you know, beta, wipe it out, fresh launch for everybody. That would make sense. It's gonna be a wait and see for this. But besides that, that might be a make or break for me, because like I said, I really don't like resets. But besides that one detail, everything else sounds freaking amazing. On top of just, I mean, look at that. That looks freaking cool as shit, right? And there's the barbarian character. There's the goblins. They look ugly as shit. See, I'm definitely interested in this game, but it might be a while until it comes out. However, I put this on my wish list. This is definitely interesting me, so I might cover this on this channel, because it's definitely a spiritual successor to Warcraft, which is what I cover on this channel. So I will cover it if any major updates come out. So until then, subscribe if you want to see more. I cover private servers of World of Warcraft, so Turtle WoW, Azeroth at War, Revelation WoW, Duskhaven, Project Epoch, and more. I'm currently playing Mistblade, which is Stormforged. But if you want to hear more of this game or anything just Warcraft related in general, subscribe, like this video. I will see you next time.